Alright, so moving along, we got a bunch of decks I want to get to today. Probably going to run long again. Got some blue-black artifact friends up next. I stay because you share what you're thinking and why you play the way you do. Thank you for helping me be a better Magic player. Well, thanks for keeping me around, Archangel. I really appreciate that. Thanks for the 2 months. Yeah, I'm like, one of the things that's nice about Drake is that Drake, even though it does turn on removal in some of the same ways that Hero does, Drake always draws a card. So if your opponent spends a card killing Drake, they're technically down a card. Yeah, Rail plus Heroic Reinforcement sounds sweet too. So when we try this again in the future, we'll probably try something like that. Alright, blue-black Super Friends. Let's grab this deck list. That's actually what this deck is doing, Chucky. This is a Karn Saheeli treasure map deck. One thing that we did not have in here last time that I do want to make sure we get copies of is this is a card that's really impressed me in this format, so I want to play a couple of copies of it, I think. We've not played the blue-black Kefnet deck yet. I might have played a match off stream with it last night. If you were watching Wyatt McDarby last night, or Wyatt Darby last night, you probably saw me play against him. But I have not actually played that deck on stream yet. Potato, thanks for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And the Elk, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Say something and get timed out. We got you. I'm just thinking about my removal suite here really quick with this deck. I also think I want some copies of Narset in here. That's been a card I've been pretty impressed with. This might be too many Tezzerets. This might be too many Saheelis too. Like four is a lot of this card. Let's try this, I think. There are no Ritual of Soot in the 75. This is 915. I could probably fit Ritual of Soot in here too, right? Yeah, I could see going down on here. I like the idea of having a bunch of Rituals, so for some of the mid-range decks that exist in this format. Alright. Let's take a picture and dive into some games, shall we? It might also be that this many Azcanta plus maps is like slightly too many. Stormcode, thank you for the 2-month resub. Maybe I want to trim one of these. This doesn't seem unreasonable. Numbers look pretty clean. Have a couple of spots left on the sideboard here even. Alright, let's do it. This was a deck that we had someone submit that I wasn't expecting a lot out of, and actually ended up feeling a lot more competitive than it looked on the surface. I do like these various 2-color decks because their mana tends to be not quite as painful as having a pile of shock lands, which is nice. This is another deck with Saheeli in it, which again is a planeswalker that just like continues to impress me. Slow Poke Murdy, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Hope life is treating you well. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Perfect. Needs a 4th land at some point, but pretty reasonable otherwise. Perfect. Don't play a hexproof door. Don't do it. Perfect. Felicia. Elevator going up. Yay! Double spell Karns. Yay! This Karn tells me how much they care about Ritual of Soot too. If they give me Ritual of Soot here, it's pretty bad for me. Yeah, because that means they don't really care about it, which means the second one that we have is probably Rancid. I think I'm going to go ahead and down tick here. And grab Chemister's Insight. I don't have any Vraska's Contempts in my main deck, which is a little awkward here. Actually, the way I changed my main deck to pull the cast downs, this card's probably really tough for us to get through.
Please stop.
Hey, J Ray, thanks for the tip. I appreciate it. Soultide Diviner. Due to a timely raise at work. Well, congrats on your raise and thanks for the support. Ritual of Soot just hanging out, letting us know that it's not Kaya's Wrath. That is a really big pig. Think we might be dead, chat.
How convenient. An excellent choice.
Hey, Eric, thanks for the Prime support. Feeling pretty dead. So they can attack me for 16 next turn. Oh, Mean Bean. I'm sorry, Mean Bean. You think that each level ladder is drastically different or about the same? I don't really have... That's like a pretty speculative comment. I don't know that I really have a good metric for like knowing... Oh gosh, we're super dead, right? Because this thing gets +2, +2, +2. This attacks for 5. That's gross. I think we're dead.
There is always another fight.
Yeah, Harpooner Pig is sweet. Alright, we did a whole lot of nothing and then we died. Ah, the life of a control deck sometimes. My answers did not line up well into their threats, and we died. I really don't have great answers for Pig in my 75. I guess I have like Thought Erasure and Stroke. I guess Karn making blockers can technically be an answer too. No one has great answers for Pig. Kinda. And I mean, like, one of the things that makes Pig good is that, like, you have to keep re-answering it, right? Yeah, so we had played a blue-black Friends deck, and we had played an Esper Friends deck, and the Esper iteration is the one that I ended up posting on my website because Mortify is a really good card right now. Just think it's incredibly powerful. Not only because it kills enchantments, but just because it indiscriminately kills creatures as well. No, Venfaith. For people that didn't hear us when we talked about that yesterday, because of that bug at the Mythic Invitational, if competitors were going to cast Legion War Boss, they were required to verbally tell their opponent that they were about to cast it, so that way if their opponent had a response, they could put a stop on the main phase. Had to tell them before it went on the stack, because if there's not something in play that it lets you hold priority for, it just goes through to the beginning of combat like that. Maybe I should stop telling that story, though. It's probably why I don't get invited to things. Yeah, the Neo bars are good stuff. Yeah, I completely agree, Squirrel Conspiracy. It just needs a thing like Expansion Explosion. Like, Expansion Explosion literally just has a thing where it says you can't, it automatically adds a stop, right? We just need the same thing for that card. So here's a real question. I think I'm not supposed to downtick this because I don't want them to be able to kill this, because this turns off a lot of their Phoenix deck, right? It says they can't draw extra cards. All right, they have the Lightning Strikes that, like, feels bad, but I think it's right to play around Shock. A lot of them don't play Shock.
I must train harder.
You're not... Yeah, I know, Genesis. I sell a lot of WotC product. Maybe I'm supposed to map plus Thought Erasure there, if only because I want to take a Crackling Drake before they cast it. Derek, thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate that. A lot of them don't play Shock. Obviously, the Goblin makes Lightning Strike cheaper. Or don't play Lightning Strike, they play Shock. The reason why they play Shock instead of Lightning Strike a lot of the time is because when they don't have Goblin in play, Shock makes it easier to get their Phoenixes back. Well, that's a lot of burbs. That's a lot of burbs. Well, I'm going to take the Finale of Promise, I think. That's Sparky. Watsy sent him to watch the stream. I believe the competitive metagame challenge is basically just like a high roller league. It's like higher entry fee, higher payout, if I recall correctly. The Light Knight, thank you for, I don't know how I got Lime out of Light. Thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back. Double spell cards are so good. So good. So good. Do 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 do. Man, I feel really bad I cut my cries for Ritual of Soot. Which is, again, one of those things when you're, like, playing a deck like this, you're, like, 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other, kind of, like, guessing a little bit which interaction is going to be useful and relevant. And for this matchup, I've kind of guessed wrong. Right, what do I want to trim here? I think Chemisters. I think I'd rather have my cheaper card advantage in Search and Treasure Map. Beautiful Hearthstone hand. Really bad Magic hand. Need some lands. Someone asked, how do you get the Bolas avatar? Well, my friend, with the most powerful card in Magic the Gathering, your critic card, you too can unlock the power of the Bolas avatar. Marty, 1000%. And listen, if you can use Marty's credit card to buy your stuff, it's definitely the power play. I didn't say my credit card was the most powerful in Magic, just a credit card. Legion War Boss. Huh. Alright, I actually don't have all of my 2-mana removal in my deck, and that means I definitely want it. If we don't kill this next turn, we'll probably pack it in. I mean, that technically gives me an extra look, right? I like how we talked about the Legion War Boss bug, which is like hit mono Legion War Boss decks. Sounds fitting. What's bugged about it? It doesn't give you a chance to kill it before the game moves to combat and make a token. So it isn't always relevant, but there's a number of games where it is. To the person who just asked, no, that is not fixed yet. No, normally the first time you get priority is during your opponent's at beginning of combat step, which is when the token gets made. So normally it doesn't pass back. In a regular game of Magic, priority does pass every time. So you should be able to, but Arena does some things to make the gameplay faster, which includes skipping some things like that. Which, generally speaking, I think a lot of the things Arena skips like that are good because that's the thing that makes Arena play quickly. However, for the sake of making it play quickly, Arena needs special conditions for specific cards, like Legion War Boss, so you don't get screwed in situations like that. Alright, I think I'm going to keep that land. What if getting screwed is your kink? I got nothing.
My device is finished.
This might be a game where we just, like, flip these maps over, play this Karn, and, like, start pumping out Karn Structs and kill them. How many of each number drop is recommended for Vanifier to reliably get each cost? So you want fewer cards at each slot, the higher on the curve you go, basically, rules every day. If you go on my website and click standard decks, you can find the Vanifier deck I played last season listed up there for a comparison. I mean, this technically lets me double Moment the Drake. I'm gonna keep that and try it out. Hey, Spherical Man, I appreciate the support. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We could get Spell Piercer Dovin down here. I'm doing this now at sorcery speed because if they save the Drake, I think I want to make a Thopter with this, and if they don't save the Drake, I want to draw 2 cards.
I know what must be done.
So, I sequenced in that manner at sorcery speed because it was going, what happened with the Drake was going to dictate what I did with my Tez.
A lucky shot.
That's true. Treasures and treasure map protect us from the Legion War boss bug. Because they give us a chance to respond while he's on the stack. That's pretty good. So they're going to recast these, and there's a burb in here. And the burb is going to kill Tezzeret. If they have another burb, they're going to get to discard it here too. They're like 22 cards into their deck, so like chance of second burn is not that unreasonable. Yeah, the red finale seems really sweet in the opponent's archetype. Deal. That one can stay right there.
You'll pay for that.
Stroke me, daddy. I didn't mean actually stroke me. I meant think about it, but then don't really do it. Alright, do I just play this Karn here? I think I just play this card.
I will defend my allies.
We played a blue-red Phoenix deck that was... It was like a weird build. I tried out something new with Saheeli in the main and no Drakes, and it wasn't very good. Of course, Phoenix wasn't very good in general last season either, so 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. It's probably about time that I go through and do another command cleanup. There's probably other old sponsor plugs left in there. Ooh, that's actually really bad for us here because my plan was to race with the Karn struck, but Saheeli gives them infinite blockers basically. You get like negated or disdainful stroke here and feel real bad. I guess I should technically play this land out because if they have Spell Pierce, it's one less treasure I have to sacrifice. I think Ugin is just like killing Saheeli here.
You understand yourself.
I feel like we're kind of up a creek without a paddle here. This is, I think I want Cries in general, or Ritual of Soot in general, but again, like, with these decks, with these interactive decks, we're kind of just, like, guessing what we're going to play against. So, like, I cut Cries, and immediately we queue into a Phoenix deck where Cry would be excellent. So it's like, do I put Cry back in, expecting to play another Phoenix deck, or do I, like, keep the Ritual of Soot because I think they're better on average against the field? I had a dream Anoronics wanted to see a deck, but Justin, Nivik, and Larynx kept bumping up other standard decks over it. I think something is wrong in my brain because I've never seen Anor outbid. What's going on, Beetle? Alright, let's do this. When I started watching Magic, I misheard Bant for banned and couldn't figure out how to play banned decks. ESPN Joris, Espen Joris, thank you for the 4 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right. This hand might not go anywhere, but it's got some options, so we're going to check them out. Deal. What do you think about Railstorm? He's been really sweet in the Steamkin deck we played a little bit of. You can find videos of it in my preferred deck list on my website. I also wrote a little bit about it in my article this past week for Cool Stuff Inc. So, like, do they take a good card here, or do they take an opt and hope I stumble? The problem is that, like, if they take an opt and I hit my second land, search for Azcanta and Thought Erasure, I mean, I'm likely to hit my third. That's not an island to cast this other op, but beggars can't be choosers. We gotta keep that one. There's a good chance if I dug for the blue to cast this, it would just get absorbed this turn anyways. So I'm just going to keep the swamp because I want to hit 6 lands eventually. I'm actually not going to play this search out because the chances of it just getting mortified or countered are high. And if my opponent counters my search, untaps, plays Teferi, and then has counter magic to protect that, I'm probably dead. So I want to just hold up this Vraska's Contempt here so that way if they play Teferi, I can exile him before he untaps their lands. Why did I not want to opt on my upkeep? Why would I want to opt on my upkeep? What appeal is there to opting on my upkeep? Generally speaking, when you're casting a card that wants you to make decisions, you want to have the most information available to you when you make that decision. So by waiting to draw my card for the turn, I give myself more information. Do I just continue to play Drago here? Or do I play the search? I'm going to play the search for Azcanta. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? What are you doing? What the? Wow. Wow. Well, I now know that that's bugged, so I guess we should file a bug report. Can we not? Can't we? Doesn't this? Wait, am I not understanding this card? 2 mana, spend this mana only to cast Planeswalkers. Yeah, I totally could have cast Narset there, right? Oh, is it different? Oh, of different colors. Oh, and I can't filter this into this. It's different colors, and we can't filter this into this. Okay. Well, I think we're on the Space Jam plan from here. I definitely shouldn't have played Search when I played it. Definitely should not have played Search when we played it. Because the mana that comes out of this can only be spent to play Planeswalkers. So you can't take mana that comes out of the beacon and put it back into the other beacon. Which is weird. Yeah, it's... Now, reading and thinking about it slowly, it's definitely correct. So, like, but that's why playing 4 of this card is probably never right. Now, again, talking about this build of this deck versus playing, what's it called? Versus playing the Esper build, like, not having a way to mortify this is kind of a big deal. Do you have another Absorb here? We do not. So I can't mortify it, but we can Ugin it. So let's do that. I assume Ugin's gonna eat a Contempt here. Just a Chemister's Insight. Okay, that's good for us. How I like Tyrant, Scorn, and Draw. I think it's excellent. I think the 2 mana removal in blue-black left a lot to be desired last season. I think Scorn's a good mix of flexible and reasonable. Okay, are we gonna tuck Ugin in? Nope, not yet. So they didn't have a counterspell last turn, but they cast Chemister's Insight, they had a draw step, they drew with Teferi, so like, there is a chance they have a counterspell this turn. This hasn't got it Contempted yet, so that's real good for us. This tapped land is killer here. If I had an untapped land here, I'd be able to Contempt plus Narset here, but because this is tapped, I have no such luck. I feel like I'm probably just supposed to continue slamming threats. Yeah, it's also reasonable with Thought Erasure too, like as your Thought Erasures draw dead in the big one. Alright, well, normally Teferi's pretty unbeatable in terms of playing through, but like, I have multiple Planeswalkers going here too, right? So like, I'm drawing 3 cards a turn and they're drawing 2. And like, I have this Narset left over. Narset does also soft lock Teferi. Really? They had a Contempt and they just declined to Contempt Ugin. That's interesting. What is holding up Tyrant Scorn do? The opponent's deck likely doesn't have any creatures in it, so holding this up doesn't really accomplish anything.
Right on schedule.
Great. They've got the Teferi Dream Team over there.
That's more like it.
I would love my free treasure map. That sounds excellent. And one of the sweet things here is when I Narset next turn, my opponent will be inclined to Chemister's Insight in response. Oh, they can't Chemister's Insight. All right, well, I guess. I think I lead on this as bait.
If you wish to surrender now, I understand. With thoughtfulness before action.
We will meet again.
It feels a little bit bad to bottom those good ones there, but it is what it is. This card is a little bit annoying. It means we can't cast instants at instant speed, but like we also don't have any counter spells in our deck, so like a lot of our instants like Chemister's Insight, we can just play them at sorcery speed and not really have it be a big deal. I feel like I'm ahead at the moment. It's close though. Like both sides have a lot going on here. The sleeve is quite excellent. Mesmerizing. All right, so they can play this, but they know I have Ugin. So like if they jam this, I'm gonna get to have this to just kill it right away. Really, we're just making a 2/2. Thanks for turning on my Scorn. This does not seem like a great exchange for them.
Rise. Keep an open mind.
Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana total. So I can Ugin, kill this, Scorn this, treasure map for free, and scry. How much of a cost is adding Fielder? I think it's a pretty real cost. Just because like I have black, and blue cards in here. It feels a little bit bad to play a bunch of non-creature cards there without having Saheeli in play to generate tokens, but I think I needed to get this off the table ASAP. Yep. Saheeli, Ugin map, make 2 blockers. Huh. Yeah, maybe that's better. I don't know. It means my treasure map gets going slower, though, because it means I can't scry with the map this turn. So I guess the real question is, like, how much do I value the scry with the map? And maybe I don't. But, like, flipping this tuner does seem appealing. Are we really going to tuck Ugin in here? If they tuck Ugin in, I can literally just scry back to it. So, do they have a counter spell? Because this goes third from the top. So I get to go Scry. That's a Karn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just short of Chemister's Insight and replay Ugin this turn. Do I want to bottom this Karn? Karn is like really good here. I think I'm supposed to actually keep that. I think it's just good enough to keep. Especially with like this Saheeli.
You've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, I get back to Ugin next turn.
I advise that you
This is game 1, so my opponent is like more likely to have sweepers. Like they probably have Kaya's Wraths and stuff sitting in their hand. But I think I'm supposed to down-tick the Karn as opposed to up-ticking it, because I don't want to up-tick Karn, exile my Ugin, and then have them kill my Karn and leave my Ugin stranded in exile until I can find another Karn. So I think this is ideal. So Ugin is 1 card down right now. Yes, Karn tokens plus Saheeli is an excellent combo. Agree.
Let's skip to the good part.
Yeah, nice Teferi plus. Wow, do they not have a sweeper? Was it too risky to make map a copy of a Karn token and kill Teferi? Huh. That's a cute idea. I think that's too risky. I think that's too risky. Also, can we pour one out for my gal Narset? She's real good. She's real good. And this also isn't drawing them cards, right? So like this is less scary because it's not drawing them cards. Because Narset's hanging out. Alright. 1 Ugin on top, please. Yeah, we have, what's it called in Standard? Oh, I'm blanking on its name. Spyglass is Standard legal. That can stay there. Alright, so I'm gonna down-tick this. And I'm gonna Saheeli my token to copy the Karn struck. Oh no, this is summoning sick. I'm dumb. I was like, I just made the treasure tokens. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. We talked about it last turn, but it only worked last turn because we already had the treasure map. So again, creatures can only attack if they've been in play for a turn. Even something like this, that it wasn't a creature to begin with, becomes a copy. I think we're still ahead here, especially with these Chemister's Insights. And like the fact that they still can't take this Narset off the table. So, you know, I think we're doing okay. No, they cast down the original one. I don't think they wanted to kill the treasure token.
Here we go.
God, this thing's denied like, what, like 4 or 5 draws this game? It's so absurd. Wow, they found Contempt too. So if they would have Contempted this first, they could have drawn 2 more cards here. It's a pretty big mistake. So if they would have activated this first, they could have, yeah. So they missed 2 draws here. It's a pretty big deal.
Mighty warrior. I concede.
If you had some old treasures, I have no idea, Cheddar. I don't think so. Perfect. And again, I have to play these right now. Not only do I want a chance to draw into meaningful stuff to play this turn, but this Teferi says I can't play them at instant speed. All right, they have an Absorb. And I have to play that heads up, unfortunately, because of this. And unfortunately, they have exactly enough mana to absorb plus still activate Azcanta this turn, which sucks. These are summoning sick. Oh, you're saying I can copy, have one of these copy that. Yeah, that's the line.
Some lessons for you all.
It's really unfortunate that I used this at the wrong time. And if they try and kill this, I then have a window to Vraska's Contempt, the hero of Dominaria. So we kind of want them to hit a removal spell here. Because if they hit a removal spell to save Little Tef, I get to Contempt Big Tef. This has been a sweet game so far. This is game 1, by the way. How is Jeskai here? It was like, okay. I think I might want to try it as just more of a Saheeli deck than more of a hero deck, though. It's worth watching if you're interested in the archetype, I think. I have a second Narset in my deck somewhere here still, too. I think we're actually ahead at the moment. This card's, like, kind of tough for them to keep up with. It's actually impressive that, like, they've gone through more cards in their deck than we have. We might be able to just run them out of win cons because we're so threat dense. Yeah, the fact that we don't have counterspells in our deck is a big deal.
Right on schedule. Keep up the pace.
Yeah, the subtle power that these uncommon planeswalkers have has been really impressive to me. I think they did a really excellent job with them. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this because I messed up earlier. Discovered you on YouTube about 2 months ago and loved the content, but tuning in a week for the stream. Just wanted to say love it. Well, GFVDC, thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate the support.
Together, we'll create great things, you and I.
If they miss on a... Oh, they tapped off of black mana. Auto tapper got him. They tapped off of black mana.
I like to think fast.
Ha! Bye-bye, Teferi.
Hardly my worst defeat.
Sure. This card is awesome. This card with Karn is absurd.
I battle for the choices we make reveal who we are.
The choices we make reveal who we are. I don't think I have ever played a game that's lasted this long against an active Azcanta. The games against active Azcanta never take this long. Because you're always just dead, right? You're just like, nope, we're done here.
This will aid us.
That sounds sweet, Gara. Yeah, we played through Teferi this game too. Yeah, upkeep stop for, you know what? I don't know. Let's see. I guess it can't hurt to toggle it. I might not want to, though. I'm casting at least one Chemister's Insight at end of turn. It might be both. Generate some tokens here. Narset was huge against Teferi. You're not wrong. We are also at 44 life. The Interplanar Beacons have been keeping the health total nice and swole. I'm actually gonna get my Scry on here. It's less mana efficient, but it gets me to flip these sooner. Deal. This is still game one.
Be built.
We do have lethal next turn with Karn tokens, you're not wrong. Elevator going up. How close are we to decking? I have 18 cards, they have 18 cards.
I know 88 ways to defeat. I have just the trick for this.
Show me Kaya's Wrath. It's a blank. That's a blank. I'm leaving the land on top because, I don't want a deck. Bad Soda and MP Late. Thanks for the brand new Prime support. Hope y'all are having a fantastic one. I can't, the way I might have used too much mana there because I can't activate, I can't flip both treasure maps next turn now. Oh no, not Teferi. I read a Reddit thread that Teferi's unbeatable. I think they're dead. I think they're dead because I get to dove into there. Sure, yeah, they should be dead here. So I get to so what do we get to do? I get to start with this, and I get to Karn. I get to make a Karn struct, and then Saheeli makes one of these a construct, and the new Saheeli makes the other one a construct. So choose an artifact you control. This is going to copy this. So this can attack this turn because it came in last turn. And then I play another one. And it's going to make another construct that can attack this turn. Keep the new one. So I want this to copy this.
I know how to stop you.
All right, not bad. Attack for 30-something. Yeah, buddy. You know, it's pretty reasonable. Not bad. .jpg, all that jazz. The DPS in this deck is reasonable when you need it to be. The DPS is not bad. All right, what are we doing? So the big question I have to ask myself in the post board games is, it was in fact Game 1, does he? Is how much respect do I want to have for Thief of Sanity? Because that's a card that can basically punk us out of the post board game for sure. I got 6 cards I want to cut here. So basically, like, the question is, do I want to cut the Tyrant Scorns? Do I want to cut the Tyrant Scorns? That was hot. Put this towards more Saheeli card map deck. Sounds good, Trustee. Yeah, like, and one of the things too is, like, there are infinite directions we can explore this archetype with, right? This combo can go in red decks, it can go in blue decks, it can go in 3-4 color combinations of all these things. I might have too many cards in my sideboard for the control matchup, believe it or not. I just like trim the opt because it's filler. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna trim the opt because it's filler. I'm gonna leave 2 Scorns in. I think a blue-white version with Dovin could be good. Yeah, there's just like a thousand different directions that these could be built in. So people often ask questions about, like, how do you approach building sideboards correctly? And this here is a good example of, I need to fix how my sideboard is built because I have too many cards that feel like they should be coming in here. So what that means is, like, those Disdainful Strokes that I didn't bring in, I can probably cut those from my sideboard and replace them with something for a different matchup. They had to leave it, and this is sweet. So they had to bring in and leave in sweepers, which has to give us a huge leg up, just because, like, it's a control mirror, basically, and they have to leave Cries and Kaya's Wrath in their deck so they don't lose the game. Hey, Rickner, thanks for the 9 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed.
Prepare to marvel at my masterpiece.
How do you feel about the constructed challenge? That sounds sweet. I think if you're looking for a way to build your collection, that sounds like a great way to build your collection.
Mind and body hone your prowess.
Sure. This card's like divination plus plus plus. It's like a divination that, it's like a better divination because it finds me specific things, and then it sits around is like, yo dog, I'm gonna be a hate card too. How's that sound? Like, sounds excellent. Oh, just a Teferi, huh? Oh, do I want to play it? No, I have no desire to play in the event on stream. I have all the booster packs I could ever need, thanks to the most powerful card in Magic, the credit card. I just want to tune and test and try new things. Let's Karn.
A hideous choice.
Pact of money. Pay the bill at the beginning of your next month or they repo your house. Pact of money. Hi, friend. All right. Let's, I was talking about the sideboard and not like sure exactly how many cards I wanted for different things. So these strokes can go away. And I was like trying to fit in Cry and, and Soot. So I can probably have both if I don't need Disdainful Stroke. Although this isn't super useful either. I might want to leave the strokes in for the stupid Reclamation deck, huh? Maybe I want to leave Stroke in for Reclamation and just plan to not bring it in against control. Hey, Soronian, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. Was that match 1? That was match 2 or 3. If you think this deck is sweet and you haven't seen it before, this is one of the many decks we've been playing since the new set dropped. It's one of the many decks you can find on the standard page of my website. Just click that magicesports.net link there and click standard decks and you'll be able to find this and a bunch of other sweet ones we've been playing. How is what possible? Alright, is this a concession erasure? Feels like a concession erasure. No, there was an arena update today. Alright, my opponent looks to be playing Bant Flash stuff. They had Vivian, Krasis, and then 2 ramp spells. Hey, Tenoroka, thank you for the biddies. I appreciate that. Hope you're having a good Thursday. If your username isn't part of the English language or contains multiple words without camel casing, you're probably going to get your name butchered on most Twitch streams. Alright, so this kills Krasis, which is sweet. I probably want Disdainful Stroke here. There's probably a good chance that they're a Frilled Mystic deck, huh? So, like, Stroke can, like, counter their counters, basically. Who got you the dot? That was, Mattman bought me that domain. MagicEsports.com doesn't have anything at it, but it's owned by someone. I really need to send an email and find out how much they want and make them an offer. Because MagicEsports.com would be a great domain to have, right? I'm pretty sure it's basically just parked. There's a contact the domain holder button on MagicEsports.com. And the only reason I know that is because I just assumed MagicEsports.com was the website for Magic Esports stuff, so I went there and then WotC didn't own it, and I was like...
I've lost so much already. I won't quit. Strike now! Strike hard!
Let's pool some biddies. I need to send an email and find out what it'll cost. Sometimes people buy up vanity domain names like that with the intention of selling them for a lot. Oh, they forgot to use their Vivian. That one can stay right there. I think is MTG Esports. I think that's the one they actually have. If I recall correctly, MTG Esports is the one they have. Yeah, MTGEsports.com is their actual domain. What the actual reality is, if you're a big corporation like WotC, they should probably own both and forward one to the other. That's what should probably have happened. They should probably own both. Perfect. Show me what you're working with. Can stroke a Frilled Mystic here. Negate. Rude. Well, the negate on the erasure there probably means they don't have a Frilled Mystic. It also means they don't have an Absorb based on how they tapped here, so that's nice to know. I was gonna try and buy jeffhoagland.net, but some smart, thin person already bought it. Yeah, believe it or not, I already own jeffhoagland.net, .organ.com. Wait, this ain't my first rodeo. I ain't new. I know how this internet thing works. .biz. No, I bought the ones people might actually type into their browser. jeffhoagland.gg incoming. Stroke me, daddy. Stroke me. Hoaglandia.com is unowned. Man, that maybe we could do something with that one. I don't know. I don't have time to manage another website. jeffhoagland.io because I'm a hip new startup. Stroke here means I can flip Azcanta next turn, which is nice. I'm going to start with this because if I opt into an expensive Planeswalker, I want to cast it this turn. Are there anything I can Azcanta into that I would want to cast right away? Thought Erasure I would want to cast right away, probably, right? So, I feel like we're a little bit behind at the moment, but Azcanta, without them being able to apply pressure, is definitely one of those cards that can, like, drag us kicking and screaming back into this game. Great. Starting to get under a little bit of pressure here. Under pressure. Bum 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 ba dum bum. Bum 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 ba dum bum. I am here to offer my services as software QA to Hoaglandia.com. Listen, WordPress is wonderful. Is all I'm gonna say. It can be a tourist thing. A while back, you talked about people linking their Twitch into websites to increase their views. I don't remember what you called that. Also, you said a small amount is okay in your opinion. I said it isn't against the terms of service. So you are not breaking the Twitch terms of service if you embed yourself on another website. Like, for instance, my stream is embedded on the front page of jeffhoagland.com, believe it or not. I think we're dead, chat. I think we're dead. I'm gonna concede. What other people were doing that's kind of like awkward or like buffers numbers. So Wizards of the Coast actually did this for the Mythic Invitational, and then they did it for Amazonian, Gabby Sparts, Savits, and other random streamers that they've had. They've done it for too, where they pay to get their Twitch streams embedded in the footer or the header of various really popular websites, and then the Twitch stream autoplay as an advert, basically. So people who aren't actually watching the stream, but have it playing on a different website they were viewing, get counted as a viewer. Hoaglandia is a tree. I am aware of that one. We are a tree. Alright, so I think I just Narset down tick here. They're probably gonna attack Narset, but then I can Scorn this, right? And this means they're not playing a 4-mana card next turn. You're an Australian tree, I demand an accent.
A moment.
Yeah, Narset's really good. She's just a fantastic magic card. What are the odds they have an absorb here? 100%? And like, again, I always talk about like the floor and the ceilings of cards, right? So like, the floor on Narset is even when her static ability doesn't do anything, she still says, get 2 spells out of your deck. Super reasonable. I have ancestors at some point that were Dutch. I however am very American. My family's been here for several generations. Think I just jammed this. Something's getting frilled mysticked at some point. It might as well be this treasure map. Really? Okay, deal. Okay, there's just Chemisters inciting. That's good for me. Enjoy your draw one. Enjoy your draw one. I love the blinky red no pulse. Just pulsate the no. Pulsate the no. Oh no! Please don't plus Teferi. Please don't plus Teferi. They're tucking her in!
You need to take a timeout.
We get to redraw her next turn! Oh my god, I'm sorry, I forgot to... I was too excited. I'm really sorry. I hate... Normally I'm good about being able to mute. I was just really excited. Guess who's back? Back again. Narset's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Narset's back. Do 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 boo do 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 boo 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 boo. Oh no, please don't plus the fairy. How will I ever overcome your card advantage? Glowing circle of no. Is that a Captain America shirt? It is. The glowing circle of no got me. What's going on, Morin? Thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back.
Meditate and prepare.
Teferi does a really bad impersonation of Nissa. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could totally cycle that. Oh, yeah. Every time she pulsates, I feel empowered. Just like, this is what I was meant to do. This is everything. If this is wrong, then I don't want to be right, chat. Oh, you know, it is incredibly nice, opponent, when my Chemister's Insight draws 2 cards. It's really wonderful. Have you ever tried drawing 2 cards with your Chemister's Insights, opponent? It feels really good. Because Narset says you can only draw 1 card per turn. So when they Chemister's Insight on my turn, they still get to draw 1. Alright, so this has tucking power. So I think I'm going to upkeep Contempted at this point. This is my Chemister's Insight. It draws 2 cards. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's so satisfying. I know he's not doing a lot, but he's threatening to tuck Narset in, and Narset would really prefer to not be tucked in. Narset's happy. She does not want to go to bed. Narset's like my 4-year-old, just does not want to go to bed. Excellent. Excellent. Is this deck good? I don't know. I think the core idea of this deck is definitely good. Are the details or the colors this deck is playing ideal? Probably not. But I think Treasure Map, Saheeli, Karn, like that. Treasure Map, Saheeli, Karn, like those 3 cards, like that seems super reasonable. McDevil, I did not see a notification come through, but you are still subbed. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. If you can type in chat, you are subbed. I think I'm going to keep this and just hope they're not a control deck. They're going to play like Watery Grave on one and we're going to hate ourselves. But if they play anything kind of aggressive, we could be okay. Bad news bears. These cards probably don't have text. Want to draw lands for the next 2 turns, ideally. The even one. Thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Waiting to find out if they're a Reclamation deck or not. They're probably a Reclamation deck.
I've got time.
Oh, wow, they're actually... Is this the same person we just played against? Because they're actually doing the same thing the other person was just doing, right?
My creations are things of beauty
I've done the hero thing before.
Am I playing Beacon only for the life gain? Yeah, basically. Don't knock the life gain till you've tried it, okay? It's very reasonable. I really don't think more sources of card advantage are what this deck needs, though. Why did they main phase the Druid? I have no idea. Maybe they forgot. Maybe they forgot this had text. Yeah, they added Bolas sleeves as a purchasable.
I've seen puppies whine less than you.
This will not deter me.
I don't think Elder Spell is likely a playable Magic the Gathering card.
I got this.
I think Elder Spell is a card where rather than I would be very surprised if there's enough Planeswalker only decks or heavy Planeswalker decks like this in the format at a competitive sense that that card is worth playing. I think if you know at your local game store there's a bunch of people that are all playing a bunch of sweet Planeswalker decks, then sure, play it. But in a competitive setting, I don't think that card's likely to ever see play. No, I don't think it's playable in the sideboard. I think if you want answers to Planeswalkers, I would rather play more Bedevils, more Vraska's Contempts, more Sorcerer's Spyglasses. I think all of these type of effects that are more flexible tend to be better than something incredibly narrow like that. I haven't seen Heartfire in mono red. Oh. Wow, that's dirty. That's really dirty. This is just a good play. So they picked this back up to give me a Planeswalker back that I played a second copy of to be able to replay this.
Walk away.
2/3 of those cards rotate to. Listen, I got a very important message for you. If you think 6 months until rotation is rotating soon, Standard's not the format for you. If 6 months till rotation is soon, it's always soon until rotation happens.
Knows no bounds. I will return.
Like, really, it's okay. 6 months is a long time.
I came into being long before your kind ever existed.
MB, thank you for the 7-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
I can create
Not dead
or
yet.
destroy.
All right, make 2 blockers here so that way they're less likely to have this kill my Planeswalkers. And the other thing, too, is, like, people are saying, well, maybe Elder Spell will be good after these other cards rotate. It's like, guess what? There's 3 more sets of Magic cards between now and then. There's probably going to be other, more flexible cards rather than the Elder Spell printed in those 3 sets. And maybe there's not. And you can predict the future and I can't. But we just don't know. So, like, thinking about something that might happen and might not is kind of silly. It's like a waste of energy. Dennis, thanks for the 9 months of support there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. The Elder Spell is going to be great against a lot of the decks we play on this stream, because this stream's focus isn't on playing the mono reds and the mono white aggros of the world. This stream's focus is on playing sweet, neat things. And Elder Spell is really good against tier 2, tier 3 sweet things. Hey, Marja, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, so what am I doing here? I think I'm starting with Opt to see what we find. Thought Erasure. Sure. That's a lot of stuff. I don't really have a good way to defend against this, so I think I take this. I think Planeswalker Control is going to be big in this format. At local game stores, Planeswalker Control might be huge, because these are the types of decks, like, people like to play. And again, I can't predict the future. I can't know how things are going to shake out. I'm just telling you, based on my experience playing previous standard formats, that in the competitive sense, at the top level, decks like this are almost never super dominant. It is the exception, not the rule, when they end up being dominant.
That's more like it.
New Teferi is very good. I agree. This card is great. Got 2 lands and a Moment's Craving exiled over here. God Eternal Oketra. Well, yikes. Huh. I guess this can kill that next turn.
Secrets manifest before you.
Am I starting with this? I'm starting with this, I think. Would like to find a Contempt to kill this. That's unfortunate. What if I just go super wide here? I could be really aggressive here and go Karn down tick, Karn down tick, Karn down tick. Is that crazy? That's probably too aggressive, right? I think I'm gonna go Karn down here. And then I'm gonna Chemister's Insight again. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little conservative here. I'm gonna be a little conservative here.
I've done the hero thing before. Sorry I'm late. Goes nothing.
Hey, Styles, thanks for the 3 months. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I think we're dead here at this point. They get to do this and make a 4-4. Yeah, things are just snowballed a little bit too hard here. This is another matchup where Narset is going to be stellar, right? I just have a ton of things that draw them extra cards. Hey, Black Dragon, thanks for the 3 months. Welcome back. Moment of Craving seems kind of bad here. I guess they didn't have that many things that Scorn killed. I'm going to bring in these Disdainful Strokes. I guess Scorn can, like, tempo their Oketra, which might be good enough. Yeah, Stroke and Discard are good against the God. I don't know, I kind of like all these cards. Let's just click submit. Hey, Fringe Devil and Figure of Destiny. Welcome back, folks. Thanks for keeping me around. I would love an Azcanta. This is the last match with this deck. I've been on this one for almost an hour and a half now. It's been generating good games, so I'm just letting it run a little bit. There aren't really standard tournaments on MTGO. MTGO's focus is basically purely non-rotating formats these days. The new Tezzeret isn't really a constructed playable card. It's incredibly weak. For its abilities that you get for 6 mana are just not reasonable. What's CSL?
I have let my friends down.
I'm not sure what that acronym refers to. Competitive Standard League. I mean, sure.
No one said every defeat is
Yeah, those do come from there.
If it's a challenge you want, then a
I
challenge
know how
you'll
this
get.
ends.
Do I want an Erasure here? They have, like... Those give you points to play in the mocks, right? I don't think so. There's a WMCQ on Moto that's Saturday that's standard. Alright, I don't understand what Wizards of the Coast is doing anymore. I'm gonna go back to pretending. I'm gonna go back to not worrying about it. I thought we were done with standard on MTGO, but apparently not. Apparently Arena is not the future and you need to play Magic Online to qualify for things. I don't get it. Yeah, I think I just want to hold up Stroke here.
Meet my newest friend.
Well, I can't really double Erasure. And this is the punishment for waiting too.
You must accept defeat for now.
Oh, I guess I should have opted in response there, huh? I could have made a token. Yeah, I should have opted in response. Yeah, I think I should have thought Erasure there. Yeah, pretty punished. I also could have opted on my turn. I could have opted on my turn into Thought Erasure potentially. And then had like a bunch of stuff. I don't know, it's a tough sell. There's definitely ups and downs in both directions there.
There are so many home your prize.
Let's see how you respond to genius.
After watching how powerful she is, I think Narset might belong in the sidebar. However, doing that would probably require retooling the mana. There's only 14 blue sources. Sounds good, Dude Light. Dude Light, if you want, I can hold big mana till tomorrow. I'll start standard about noon tomorrow, so let me know. Or you can always catch the replay on YouTube. I feel like we're just gonna like lose out on mana efficiency this game. Like I'm keeping up in terms of cards with them, but like in terms of mana efficiency, we're losing. Like they're spending all their mana every turn, and I'm not.
Balance comes.
Perfect, dude. Sounds good. The fact that I missed a land drop in there too is a big deal. I think the turn that I passed with the stroke up and ended up just opting when they did this, I should have opted on my turn. I should have just opted on my turn so that way I could, Huh? Alright, do I do this? Wait. That's bugged, right? Swamp Beacon can't cast Saheeli, right? Is that bugged? Did the auto tapper just bug in our favor? Oh, it can make blue-red. It can make blue-red. This is a split card. Ah, split card. The split. See, it's screwing with me, chat. It's screwing with me. It made red-blue. It made red-blue. That's how it works. But we can't cast Narset off of Swamp Beacon because she needs blue and this makes mana of different colors. I've got it. I got it now. I'm slow, but I got there.
You're still one step.
There's gonna be a lot of people who messed this land up in paper, I think.
You can't stop nature.
All right, there's a Frilled Mystic we don't really care about because I've got 2 strokes.
Tear it down. Tear it all down.
Well, we'll shoot.
Cold logic will always.
No, that's not how that works, Corel. You can't put mana that the beacon's made into the other beacon because the mana that comes out of the beacon can only be spent on planeswalkers. You can't take mana, filtered mana out of the first beacon and put it back into the other beacon. It's just not how it works. Seth Manfield registered 2 main deck unboard egos. That's funny. So I'm taking the God Eternal here as opposed to the Ugin because the God Eternal has flash thanks to their Vivian, so they're less restricted on timing with it. Sure, I'm saying you can't make blue-red with 2 beacons at a swamp. So beacon swamp can cast Saheeli because she takes blue-red. However, it cannot cast the other one I'm talking about. Yeah, the fandom tournament is the thing that I had played. This is bad. Am I dead? I think I'm dead. Yeah, I'm gonna concede. Am I gonna concede? Nah, I'm a liar. They get to Ugin me next turn though, which sucks. I kind of took the bait here a little bit. The fandom tournament thing is the one that I played in 3 weeks ago, and that I opted out of playing again because they decided to stream their tournament without a delay. They said that their tournament with $4,000 in cash prizes wasn't intended to be a competitive tournament, so that was fine to stream it without a delay. So I was like, eh. No, they drew one from the Crisis, and they drew 1 card for their turn. So they did not draw 2 from the Crisis. It kind of looked like that, though. The Crisis animation just kind of carried over. I agree that it sounded silly, so I just bowed out. Just like, nah, we'll be okay. Alright, to do a quick wrap on this one. I think this deck is reasonable. I kind of like where we ended up at. The main deck Narsets were just like, this card punched the clock and went to work in so many different places. The fact that even when her static text isn't relevant, that her -2 still just like gets you 2 good cards out of your deck on average is super relevant. The thing I want to take away from this deck is this core of Saheeli plus map plus Karn plus probably Ugin too. There are a lot of different ways we can like shake up these 12 to 16 cards basically and like spit them out into different other things that like what are the details surrounding these, that there's a lot of different things we can try, and I would be very surprised if there isn't something with these 4 cards that isn't incredibly good in this format. I think there's this together here pushes out a lot of damage while also like giving you board presence, and Karn just generating card advantage on zone is also good. All right. The tournament you qualify for is way more than 100K. It's like $750,000. It's like 750K. It's 100K to the top 8, and all 52 players make money. Hits Leo. So the direct challenge thing is for a huge tournament.